Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Players Pool and Snooker Lounge in Stoke-on-Trent for the third event of this year's Supreme Pool Series. It's the Supreme Masters, and we've got a treat for you here tonight. It's Phil Harrison versus Darren Appleton, so two of the sport's most iconic figures. This is actually a loser's side match, so the loser of this match will be eliminated from the competition. It's going to be first to eight, it's black ball rules. To say, my name's Michael Dale, I'm here from Beer Productions to bring you this match here live tonight. I'm joined in the commentary box by Cleve Thompson again. So Cleve, it should be a cracking match, shouldn't it?
Yes, you know, these two players here, they know each other for a long time, playing on the circuit. Obviously, Darren Appleton's not played much 8-ball competitively. Sorry, English 8-ball, should I say? But this is his foundation for those who follow him on the American pool circuit. And I think the only thing was probably just deluded his career in terms of a cue sport that he's attempted to play was not winning the Worlds.
Yeah, I think that's he got to the final at least once, and a couple of times. But, just come up a little bit short.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you know, he's deemed as one of the greats of the game. You know, alongside Mick Hill, Gareth Potts, Chris Mellin, Jason Twist, Phil Harrison.
Yeah, he won everything else, didn't he?
Yeah, you know, tours and.
Yeah, and, I mean, you look what he's done since. You know, when he sort of left English 8-ball sort of full time to then go and play sort of American 8-ball and 9-ball. It's fantastic. I mean, what he done within a matter of years is. Yeah,
and I'll be probably one of the first people to sort of admit I didn't think he'll trade a blow.
Right,
on the American pool circuit. I think at that time at that time when he made the crossover, although he had the Mosconi Cup, the Americans were dominating in the game. Where now you can see that Europe it's been a complete turnover.
Yeah, it's completely different now.
Yeah,
isn't it? I mean,
you know, the Europeans have the edge.
The Americans they're struggling to get to like day 4, aren't they?
Yeah, and that was never heard of before. You know, I mean, you got Lee Kendall who runs this event with Lee Grout. You know, he's a former Mosconi Cup player.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realise that about Lee Kendall. He played, I think, in the first couple of Mosconi Cups. And
that's right.
He actually won it. So.
Yeah, that's right. So
obviously we've got. Obviously, Chris Mellin's been playing the event. He's won the Mosconi Cup. Carl Boys, he's won the Mosconi Cup. Jason Shaw, he's not been here for this event, but he's also won the Mosconi Cup.
Yeah. So into the first frame here. And I guess for those who's got an interest in Darren Appleton in coming back to English 8-ball, I think some people were probably slightly apprehensive about whether he's going to get his feel back for the touch of the balls, because don't forget the white ball is smaller than the object balls, and also as well. With American pool, a lot of the time, the way you travel around the table, you're going forward with the ball. Yeah. So you're not really playing with screw. Yeah. On a lot of shots, it's a lot of.
Tend to use the cushions a bit.
Cushion more, yeah. So where English pools is a lot of stuns and screws. So it'll be interesting in terms of his patterns.
Yeah. It'd be a question I'd like to sort of ask, Darren and Chris.
Yeah.
And the American pool boys about how they what they struggle with most coming back to the English 8 when they play. I guess it's I've heard Darren say about his cue ball control. I think that's been he said about that's sometimes a little bit difficult.
Yeah, because it's a different feel. Picking up a smaller cue, smaller tip maybe. and also things like the wood density
Yeah.
as well. So there's all of that to take in consideration.
Yeah.
Where, if you're used to just playing with like a maple shaft,
Yeah.
and a certain type of tip for American Pole, I should imagine it's going to be a complete different feel.
Yeah. No, it is, two. Well, there is obviously, a lot of crossover
Players.
variables and crossover skills, that you can sort of change between disciplines, but they are fundamentally two different disciplines, aren't they? I mean, the equipment, the rules themselves,
and also you've got to take into consideration as well. It's a different kind of action as well. I think on a American pool table, it seems like it's a lot looser grip on the shot. It's almost very seesaw-y with the backhand sort of thing.
Yeah, you see like the Filipino players and some of the American players, it's very sort of it looks quite erratic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I often wonder whether or not some of the American players might benefit from having a bit more of a sort of robust, rigid sort of cue action. But then look at someone like Shane Van Boening, obviously the great Filipino players like Efren Reyes and Bustamante, they all cue in that sort of protracted way. So.
I'll tell you what I would love to see, just one time maybe, is one of those kind of players just come over here and have a stab at playing English 8-ball and see how they rate it, in terms of the difficulty, the art, the patterns, etc., how the balls they can't cheat the rail, so naturally that's what they're going to think when they first start playing. Obviously a lot of them are playing Chinese 8-ball now, so they know, but they can't do that on their
I've seen like El Strickland getting quite frustrated
so back to the game here. It's Phil Harrison leading Darren Appleton 1-0 on the loser section, and who would have thought that two great players of the game on the loser side at this stage of the tournament, playing to survive. You just wouldn't write it, but it just goes to show that the quality of this tournament is the creme de la creme. Anyone that you could think of, is in this tournament. There's probably, I don't know, in this country, should I say? We've got a few people fly over from Morocco and Malta, which adds the spice to it. But in terms of this country, you're missing obviously Gav Potts, but he's got his 9-ball commitments. Not 9-ball, sorry, excuse me, Chinese 8-ball.
Chinese 8-ball.
And probably another noticeable name that I would have loved seeing in this tournament is probably Steve Petty.
Oh right, yep, Steve,
he's that kind of fly in the ointment. In my opinion, he's got all the game.
Yeah, I do enjoy watching Steve play when I was sort of younger.
He took a bit of time out playing from the youth after being on the youth circuit, sort of thing, and he just came back into the game out of nowhere, and some people didn't know who he was, never seen him before. I guess that's because of the, you got more young people watching the game now. It's like, oh, who's this? And all of a sudden he's just there and he's winning, Hearts tours and other various things, and he's a top quality player who can actually mix it properly with these top players here. So, but that's just being picky off, two people who are missing. We've got to be we're spoilt here, really. At the end of the day, as it says on the tin, two worlds collide, and
it's that's not. Don't think that's gone right for Phil there.
So here's a question for yourself. With the hybrid rules being the last event, who do you think that's going to favour more in terms of styles?
I don't know really. To be fair, I have looked at the rules, and some people say that it kind of benefits people who have sort of played Chinese 8-ball.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's necessarily the case. You know, I think that's what I said to you earlier on. That I don't think it matters to the top players. I think they'll play. You know, it's still the same equipment. Obviously, it's a different set of rules, but.
So I've not looked at it in depth. I've kind of skim read it, and am I right in saying it's similarities to Chinese 8-ball and American 8-ball? So where it's play, you can kind of play like a deliberate foul, but you're hitting. How can I put it? It's like a deliberate foul where you're hitting your own ball first. So it's pass of turn.
I think so. Yeah. Like I say, I've only had a little look at the little look at the rules. But
it's going to be interesting to see how many players will practice it leading up to the tournament, because
they are going to be doing they're doing a warm up competition. I think that's going to be.
I think anyone can enter that. It's like £50.
Yeah. Anybody can enter. I think it's like a warm up for the grand final, because obviously those rules are being applied to the home leisure direct grand finals, which is where the winner gets £51,000. So
you should imagine that £51,000 top prize to the winner. You got to be making practice a priority.
Yeah,
for that tournament. You know, I know that they play, virtually week in, week out, if not week in, week out, and definitely month in, month out at various tours, and whether it's county or whatever, local singles league or anything like that. But
was it?
He's all right
there. Just pulled up.
Yeah. So they can't really be making excuses, because at the end of the day, if you can't get G'd up for £50,000 in this game,
you're not going to practice for anything.
No, exactly.
So anyway, Phil was in a bit of a sticky situation there, and now Darren should be squaring the match up at one frame all, provided there's nothing
so he should be playing
extraordinary happening.
Plant here, red onto red, as you see, and so he'll be taking the same red that he played next. Interesting. That could have gone a bit wrong there, but
he possibly could have gone
behind it. I'm surprised he played it like that. I thought he could just dropped it in and just. But he sees it as he sees it. So I wonder if it's the same cue that he's used from years ago playing English 8-ball. Or has he got
I don't
completely
know.
different cue altogether?
I mean, it would be a good. It'd be a good question to ask whether or not he's gone back to sort of the original equipment he was using about a decade ago, or whether or not he's sort of purchased. I think I might have seen something somewhere on like social media that I think he might have purchased a new cue or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of the American pool players who have come from the English 8-ball scene originally, then coming back, so obviously your lights off Appleton, Jason Shaw, Mellin, Carl Boys. It wouldn't surprise me if they'd gone for a different cue. And the only reason I'm going to say this is that what you find with American pool players, they do have a longer cue anyway.
Yeah, so certainly heavier as well.
Yeah, so for various reasons, to reach for certain shots, etc., without using the rest, or as they call it, the bridge,
or the rake, or something.
Yeah. Have they probably learned how to as their body posture adapted to use a longer cue? Going back to their short cue, which is an average cue anyway in pool. Is it seem a bit alien to them? So
So it's interesting to see that Darren's using. I think that's the Revo shaft thing, the Predator. Have sort of recently brought out. I know a lot of the players. I know Chris Melling uses it as well, and quite a lot of the top line ball players sort of swear by it now. They said the Revo shaft is fantastic. So it's interesting that he's sort of using that for the break here.
I should imagine it'll be very minimal whip on it, but I don't know. I mean, because I think it's all how you feel as well. I think sometimes as well, you again, what people probably don't look into it. I think certain types of tips work for certain types of cue.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, your cue is obviously the extension of your arm,
yeah,
but the tip is the final piece to the puzzle.
yeah,
You know, if your tip's not right to how you like it
yeah.
and what fits to your cue, you're not going to play as.
Quite a lot of people experiment a little bit too much with tips. I think.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
I think what's happened now, and I think this is just life in general. You got more options.
Yeah.
But I always say when you got more options, you got more chance of getting it wrong.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
You know, so so too much options is not always a good thing.
So Darren's got Darren's got an opportunity here to go 2-1 in front.
Yeah.
I think the yellow in the bottom half of the table that goes into the bottom right hand pocket, so I don't think that's going to be too much of a issue. So
I think he might take that. No, he can get onto it as last ball. Really, I can't see no harm getting onto the last ball. Me personally, I probably prefer to take it a little bit earlier.
I think he could potentially sort of take it now. After he drops the yellow in the middle,
and then take the long
and then
yellow.
roll it down, long yellow, and then he uses the other yellow. That's, as we're looking now at the top of the screen.
Yeah.
That's his sort of last ball.
It depends how much shape he gets on this. He's okay. He might be. He's going to be. I think he's going to play into the red and take the long yellow as a safety measurement.
He wanted to be a lot straighter on that
That's
yellow,
correct,
so he
yeah.
could have done something with it. But now, like you say, he's kind of forcing himself to go into the red.
Yeah, so he might have to just sacrifice now. He might be a little bit clever and aim on the right hand side of the red, so it gives him better shape. I know. Okay, so he's found another route. Oh dear.
That might not be too bad.
No,
not what he wanted to play, obviously, but.
So he's going to take this into the right centre. And I think what he'll do, take this into the right centre, then you've got the yellow into the middle, and then he's going to play the yellow by the black into the corner pocket, but hold the white onto the bottom on the red next to it.
Yeah.
And then probably take like a long black into the top corner, top right-hand corner.
10 seconds.
Yeah, no, that has gone wrong now.
Yeah, it has, yeah. Could he have prevented that? I don't know.
I thought he might have tried to jack it up a bit and tried to sort of
stun off the cushion.
Yeah, off the cushion, but he obviously felt that he didn't have enough space to do that. So here we go. He's going to go across the table and try and
just bump it in. You don't look too happy on that.
Oh,
you can see on his face where he didn't look too happy on that angle where he didn't think that was dropping on. So Phil should be okay taking his out. Should be taking the one into the right corner here to take the next red into the opposite corner.
Yeah, I think he's fine. I can't see any issues for him.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going to play red into the left centre. Sorry, corner, left corner. Then the red into the right centre. Then the red into the left corner by the right hand side of the black. And I think the ball at the top is going to be his last ball to get onto the black into any choice of the corner pockets afterwards. So just run this on and off the side cushion to give himself shape on the red here. And should be a simple process, really. But again, we say the word simple. You've got to take care of your work, no matter how good you are.
Yeah, so somebody in one of the chat rooms just asking about his double elimination. Yeah, it is. This is actually a match from the losers section. So whoever loses this match is eliminated completely from the competition. Wow. Feels hit that by a good foot, 2 feet.
I'm surprised he's gone that side as well. I thought it would have been easy to come down the right-hand side of the table. Just a better line, really.
So this is a bit of a tester for Mr. Harrison here. But he's safely deposited it.
So this is the second time that Phil's been on the arena table today. I think his last match before he beat Ronan, afterwards he played Zach Shepherd.
Right, yeah,
so I don't know.
That was in the arena, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know what the scoreline was, but obviously he did win because he would have been in this game to date.
He, I mean, that's quite brutal, isn't it? He's come through the losers section. He's already played Ronan McCarthy. He's now going to play Darren Appleton. So.
Yeah. I think the way the draw was done, like there was so many interesting first rounds and potentially interesting second rounds that if you do get into the loser section, there's no easy run at all. And I say that as in, no path's going to be easy winning this tournament. But I guess staying on the winner's side, it gives you just that extra bit of cushion.
Yeah.
Because you've got to play more games to get onto the to make it into the last 16 on the loser side.
So we just quickly, as you say, we've got an arena next door of 15 tables being used. We'll quickly just go through some of the latest scores. Darren McVicker's 7-4 up against Scott Gillespie. In the loser section, Darren's on the hill there. Andrew McKee is 2-0 up on former world champion Carl Morris. Simon Fitzsimmons is locked 3-0 with Carl O'Donoghue. We saw Carl on the stream table previously.
Did Fitzsimmons come through the last week? He was trading in that last match. I didn't realise he must have done. He was trading big time on the last match. I can't remember who was playing now.
I think it might have been the match before that. He was 7-4 down.
Something like that, right?
Come back to he won 4 in a row.
I think that was against Richard King, maybe.
Possibly, unless he might have had 2 comebacks then.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's Richard King, but he certainly came back. He had to win sort of like 4 frames in a row there. Wow, John Rowe and Chris Melling are 7-0, so that's Hill. So they're playing the deciding frame over on table 15. Lee Clough is 3-2 up on Yannick Beaufils of France.
Yeah, I'm sure they've got a time clock on that one.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say. I'm glad you said that.
No, yeah, I think it was arranged.
Gary Clark is 3-1 up on Oli Bale. Ben 40. 5-4 up on Greg Batten. Declan Brennan is 4-3 up on Rob Warren. We saw Declan on the stream table early on when he beat. I can't remember who he beat, but he was on the stream table and he won. Tom Cousins, former back-to-back world champion, he's 6-4 up against John McAllister. Callum Singleton 1-0 up on Ola Munchid of Morocco.
It's funny you mentioned Tom Cousins because I saw it. He was 6-4 down against Adam Davies, and he actually threw. There was loads of balls left on the table, and he must have made a mistake, and he just kind of forfeited that frame.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
I think he gave 2 shots away, or they call it a shot on a visit, but there must easily be at least 4 balls off each ball on the table. Yeah, so that many balls. I didn't know that. Yeah, and he just, had a bit of a moment there. But I know they went to the toilet afterwards to calm down, recompose himself. And, this game, as we all know, it can be very emotional sometimes. And as some people say, it's what's in between your ears.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, they do have the ability.
So just catching up on a few of the comments in the chat box. Jack Heck says that Darren uses a Jason Owen cue now for English 8 ball. So thanks Jack for informing us about that. Couple of questions about the format. So as I say, that this event has taken a little bit of a different format to the first two events of the Supreme Series. 16 players will qualify for the single elimination knockout section of the tournament. So effectively, we're playing a qualifying competition to get into that last 16. So it's a double elimination qualifying system. 8 will come through from the winners section. So 8 undefeated players will go through. They'll be joined by 8 players from the losers section. And at that stage, there's 16 players. The tournament is effectively reset, and everybody is playing effectively in a knockout competition.
And yeah, so it's going to be redrawn, and the winner section can't play anyone from the winner section when it's redrawn.
Yeah, they've changed that this time round as well. So I believe that the winners will play players from the losers section.
That's right. Yeah.
So I think
now there's a few people in the loser section, and you know, the winner of this match, one would say, you know, might make it to that point, and it's going to be criminal for you know, someone who is going to be overwhelmed at the fact that they made it to that far, and say overwhelmed, I don't know. They're going to be pleased that they made it to that far. And then they might think, oh, Phil Harrison or Darren Appleton, you know, because, again, you just wouldn't expect these two players to be on the loser side at this stage of the game, but it does go to show the quality of this field.
Yeah.
You can't get any better than this. You know, for those who aspire to play this game and test yourself against the best of the world, this is the tournament.
Okay, so Phil's got a glaring opportunity to go 3-1 up.
No, I'm not too sure. I don't think I've seen Phil miss a shot yet. I could be wrong. What I love about Phil, he's such a position player.
Yeah.
He doesn't just play into areas.
No.
You know, in most cases, he's always left himself on the right side of the shot he wants to play. In terms of otherwise,
you know, Phil is so accurate. You know, he's got an accurate. I mean, I think we talked about it previously, where he doesn't have to play too many sort of flash shots because he's always sort of in A1 position anyway.
Exactly. So. And he hits the ball with so much. I don't know. He looks like he's so much authority. He looks so confident on every shot he plays, regardless if it's a slow shot, a hard shot, a big generating spin shot. You know, maybe that's his aura around the table. Yeah. You know, he looks like that he's in control of himself, and he doesn't seem to let the other player control him. Yeah. You know, and sometimes some players can be like that, you know, when things are not going their way, they maybe get bullied. Yeah. Not just actually on the table, but kind of like off the table with their aura, to say.
Yeah. Phil's fairly unflappable, isn't he?
Yeah, so referee's just setting up this frame, making sure that all the balls are touching onto the 5th frame. And I believe it's Appleton to break.
So a few people asking about how many sort of entries there were. There's 128 players for each event. The entry is £1,400 to all 5 events. As we say, we've got 2 more events to come up this year. We've got the K8.com Classic in September, and then we have the big one. We have the Home Leisure Direct Grand Finals at the end of November, beginning of December, where the winner will take home a record-breaking £51,000, which is the highest amount that's ever been awarded in an English 8-ball tournament. For the players to be eligible for that final, for the grand finals, they have to have played 3 out of the 4 previous events throughout the year. So they just can't turn up to that event. They have to have turned up to 3 of the previous 4. So Wow, that's that takes some doing to do that, actually, doesn't it?
Yeah, to actually miss every single ball at that speed, at that small little cluster there. So Darren opted to play off the side cushion with force and try to make something, because he could have just cut that ball back because he was so close to it. So I think Phil will definitely be taking reds here. I think he'll take the yellow. He'll put the yellow. No, he's going to play this red here. Put into position. Probably send it down the table. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's just sort of setting these up. I think I can only assume that one of the reds. I mean, he could. He's got a few options here, really. I mean.
Yeah, he's going to take this red to him now, then take the red into the yellow and stun across down the table to take the red in the triangle.
The other, yeah,
so he just opens up the pathways.
He's got options here.
Yeah. So seems like it's going to be red into middle, red into corner. The red in the middle between the red and the black into the middle to take the red into the corner, and then black in wherever option he wants, but he did really want to be on the side cushion there.
He's overdone that a little bit, hasn't
he? He's okay. The only problem I'm a little worried about is that he has to play a soft shot, and he's just got to be careful that the white don't deviate off the shark rack there.
Yeah.
He's got to just drop it in. He's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, he was able to.
And I think he's played it, in a way that he hit hard enough that the white didn't deviate through the shark rack. Yeah. And unfortunately, it can be unfortunate. But like I said, it's a small price to pay. You've got players who have in the past complained about a rack or the lack of successful splits that they have when breaking.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, this has helped the break massively to have the game as open, not just open, but ball spread after the break to give us. Yeah, so basically it is open. And that's
yeah. So fairly quickly, Phil's halfway to the finishing line. I said it's first to 8 in the losers section. I believe that the winner of this match will then play another match this evening. I think there's a 10 o'clock session.
Yes.
And then they would need to win one more match tomorrow morning to qualify for the last 16.
Last 16,
which is the knockout section of the tournament. And at that stage, everybody is on the money. That's when the money comes into it.
That's right.
So everybody will be guaranteed at least a paycheck there.
So the winner's side, they will go straight into the last 16 by the end of play today. Is that correct?
Yeah.
On the winner's side.
I think that there's one more session of winners.
What, tomorrow morning or tonight?
I think it's today. I remember looking at it.
I thought it was today myself. I think that was the whole idea of it as well. They had a cut-off point of the winner's side to be the last 16 by end of play today, and then they're waiting for one round of the loser's side to be the winner qualification for the remaining of the last, to make up the last eight of the players of the last 16, shall I say, sorry. So back to the table, Phil to break. He looks in commanding lead here. He looks very in a controlled behaviour already, the way he's gone around finishing his balls on the table. And he's come up dry. So there's a chance for Darren Appleton to get one back here. The Reds are all in open play, apart from the one on the side rail. there, which should just generally be his last shot, maybe to get onto the black.
Yeah, I think he's trying to pick up the speed here a little bit. I think he's
Yeah.
probably just getting a little bit frustrated the way things are gone. And
Now the thing about it, Phil's not playing slow.
oh no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I just
no,
think
just
it's not really opened up for
Yeah,
Darren.
no, I don't understand.
I mean, he was frustrated. I think I can't remember what frame exactly it was, but there was a frame where he was very disappointed that he didn't finish.
Yes.
He kind of messed up a little bit, to use the mild language.
Yeah.
But he'd be annoyed by that. But so he's trying to get a bit of momentum going.
So just a stun across the face to leave himself on the rail, and just should be just a drop in here, and then black into the centre.
Yeah, it's nice. I thought he might have had a bit more of an angle than what he wanted there, but managed to hold it. And within I'm not sure.
Less than a minute.
Yeah.
That was less than a minute. I did count, but it was definitely less than a minute. He made no fuss about it.
And he did look actually quite comfortable then playing at that pace. So maybe that's something he is just trying to get things going for him. And he's still in the match. He's he's more than capable of obviously turning it around. So. Okay, so we have a quick update of the scores elsewhere in the venue. All these are losers section round 4. So there is 6 rounds in the losers section. So this is round 4 of 6. Andrew McKee is taking a 4-0 lead over Carl Morris. So that's a fast start there for Andrew.
Yeah, that's definitely a fast start.
Yeah, Simon Fitzsimmons has gone 5-3 up against Carl O'Donoghue. Liam Dunster and Mike King are locked at 2-all. Lee Clough and Yannick Bafis are locked up at 3-all. Gary Clark 6-2 up on Oli Bale. Ben Forty is now 6-5 up on Greg Batten. Declan Brennan is 5-3 up on Rob Warren. Tom Cousins is 1 frame away from eliminating John McAllister and going through to the next round himself. Callum Singleton is 4-0 up on Morocco's Omar Munchid. Drew Hughes is 6-5 up on Liam White. I just noticed earlier that Liam White actually knocked out Mark Boyle.
Yes, he did.
In the losers section.
Yeah, he did,
so
yes.
not that I cheer players on, certain players over certain other players, but Liam was so desperately close to knocking out Darren last night, Darren Appleton. That I'm happy for him that he's managed to get a win over one of the top players.
Yeah, I mean, he's come from a great pedigree. I mean, he's always played for Trent Trophies interleague side.
Yeah.
One of the main players, not just how can I put it, a journey player in the team.
No.
If
a valuable member.
Yeah, a valuable member of the team. It's that's the likes of, obviously Lee Kendall.
Rob Warren, is that?
Rob Warren, yeah. God, when Gareth Potts was playing, he was in that team.
Yeah.
And actually, Rob Warren was there after. Jimmy Croxton used to play for that team.
Yeah.
And you got Daz Lightfoot as well.
Crunch and break there from
yeah.
He's
So
unlucky.
he's going to be annoyed on that because the black went in on the break on the last frame, but
Yes.
I don't know if any other balls went down with it. So one of the questions there is if the black goes down or the 8 ball goes down on the break, it's not classed as a golden break. It's just a re-rack and the same player breaks again. Is that something they've brought into the hybrid? I'm going to have to look into these hybrid rules. That'd be very interesting if they brought that in.
No, I don't think they have.
Okay.
No, but like I say, I've only really sort of skimmed over them. I've not really sort of looked at them seriously myself. Certainly, if I was playing, I would be. I just can't. So you can hear the Dean Donahue, the referee, in the background there. The players have 45 seconds a shot, but each rack they are permitted to a 30-second extension.
Yes.
But that's only once a frame they can utilise that.
So it seems like Harrison is taking yellows. Although he's putting out yellows, still at open table.
Yeah.
So he must make his next ball. I think he's going to definitely take yellows to try and run these out. So he's just...
10 seconds.
I think he's going to call extension here. Yeah, but he's rightly so.
So he's trying to take a bit of time because this is obviously if he gets this right, it's sort of the passport to the frame there.
Yeah, so I think he's going to screw to the side cushion there.
Yeah, so
Yeah, nice shot there.
yeah, nice shot.
And he's probably going to go long with this yellow to the top left and just sort of like screw the white ball back down to where it is really.
Yeah.
I'm going to presume that the yellow on the bulk right hand side is going to be his last ball.
Yep, he's hit that well. That's
Yeah.
no problems.
So he might actually play the one on the top at the bulk line as his next shot. It all depends how much shape. No, he's not. So he needs this to bounce a little bit. Yeah, that's perfect.
He's fine
So
there.
he can just screw.
The
screw
yellow's
up.
close enough to the pocket, where it's
Yeah.
not going to be a problem.
So he can just screw back to sort of along the rail, the side cushion. I don't know what kind of angle it is, but he's got loads of pocket, but he can manipulate the pot to how he wants in any shape or form. So just a little screw back shot for comfort.
Yeah.
And he's got the black into the left centre, and that'll put him 5-2 ahead.
Yeah, nice shot from well, his feet a little bit, but
Yeah.
but that was fine. It was played at
He's played at the right pace. You know, the white ball's come back just a couple of inches. He did try to get perfect position.
Okay, so that's Phil Harrison 5-2 up. I'm just going to go through some of the questions on the chat. So someone asking about whether Dunster is still in. Yep, Liam Dunster, he's on the losers section. He's currently 2-2 with Mike King. So obviously Liam's the #1 player on the series because he got to the final of the first two events of the Jason Owen Open in May and then the Strachan Cup last month. Okay, so somebody asked for the latest scores we put up on the screen, so here we are. I mean, if you ever want to check the latest scores or the previous results, by all means, you can also access them via a Q score. Also underneath our scoreboard is the address where you need to go for the results on Q score. So yeah, so all the action in the arena at the minute is on the losers section. I believe the winners section play again tonight at 10 o'clock, I think. So we'll just sort of pick out a few games there. I mean, Gary Clark is on the hill against Oli Bear. He's 7-3 up. Ben 40 7-6 up against Greg Batten. So some people might see that as a bit of an upset. But I know Ben 40's a very good player. I think he comes from so does Greg. They both come back from like a snooker background, so they've both got a very good.
Ben 40. I think Ben 40 had I could be wrong saying this, but I'm sure he's got a snooker table in his house.
He was. I remember him being very sort of serious a few years ago because he played at the Southwest Snooker Academy.
That's
Because
right.
I'm from that sort of part of the world, and I remember him being quite frequent there. So he's only one frame away from eliminating Greg. Declan Brennan's 5-3 up on Rob Warren. Really liked the look of Declan early on today. I mean, he was. I know he would have been gutted losing to Tom Cousins yesterday. We won't sort of go over that again, but he had a good chance to knock out Tom. He was put back on the losers section. So.
I think we've had a result here where it's just come off the screen, but I saw John Rowe versus Mellon. He was 7-6 up, and now he's off the screen, so I'm presuming that John Rowe has won 8-6.
Oh, according to our
oh no,
according to our thing that
other way around. Okay.
Chris Mellon's actually won 8-7.
Okay, so he won 2 in the bounce. He was 7. I think John Rowe was 7-6 up. That happened very quickly because that was just a matter of just.
We'll confirm that a little bit later on. Sometimes what happens is there's a tab for each table, and the players are supposed to update the tab in between frames. Sometimes the players forget to do that, they might come to the table and put 2 up, if that makes sense. That's I think that's happened earlier actually, where we thought like a frame was lasting for about an hour. In fact, they probably finished about half an hour ago.
Yeah, exactly.
They've got to put it on. So here, Darren McVicker, a friend of mine from Plymouth who I travelled up with, he had a great victory against Scott Gillespie. So Darren McVicker is still in. He still needs to win 2 more games to get through to the last 16 and obviously the money round. But Darren's looking. Darren McVicker's playing really, really well.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. I've seen his name on the IPA tour. I've never seen him play. I actually don't know what he looks like. I couldn't tell you. He's one of the players who has escaped my pool nerdism, if you want to say.
you've got to watch him because he's fantastic. When he's on form, he's.
However, he's very aggressive and very.
He's very quick. He's very aggressive. Yeah. I mean, he'll probably get embarrassed me saying this because he doesn't like people knowing about it, but he's the person behind the video that you might have seen on sort of YouTube and a few social media channels where he's made a 147.
Oh, is that him?
5 minutes, yeah. That's the club that we play at down at the Plaza, and it's frustrating because quite a lot of people think it looks so insanely good. People think that it's fake.
Fake and speed up.
It generally is not. The story behind it is. There's someone else who was in our club, and they were talking about snooker and about Ronnie O'Sullivan, and they said that never will Ronnie's 5 minutes 20 seconds be beaten. Now Darren has played snooker all his life. He's made numerous 147s in the club, and he'd been there for a few sort of weeks with a camera on the side of the table, and all it was like a £5 bet if he could make a 147 quicker than Ronnie before like Christmas, and he done it. Because he recorded it put up on YouTube.
To me, I mean, I'm not really super teched up with camera technology, but even the pace he was walking around the table, there's no way that seemed that was speeded up.
No, that's
to get the balls out.
Yeah, that's 100% genuine.
It did look speeded up to me at all. I know there's a few comments saying that it's fake. I guess you got people who are on the Ronnie O'Sullivan love train, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
So they're going to be loyal to Ronnie O'Sullivan and think that he can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
But that video didn't.
Yeah.
One moment looked like it was dubbed.
Yeah, and to sort of set the record straight really about that, because as you say, you got quite a lot of Ronnie O'Sullivan fans then trying to sort of protect Ronnie, and it wasn't Darren who actually put that video up. It was the person who bet him. So. And don't forget, he had to pick his own balls as well. So that makes it even more better. And he can't get. He gets a little bit. Sometimes he gets a little bit embarrassed when people sort of talk about it because he knows some people think it's fake. It's generally not, and he's never sort of suggested. He knows it was just. He wasn't playing anybody. It wasn't in a competitive game.
Yeah.
But the bloke's a phenomenal player.
So it just goes to show that you got so many. I know we're kind of coming away from the subject a little bit because it's kind of led on to his snooker background there. What you just said. It just goes to show that there's so many very good snooker players.
Yeah.
Who don't cut the mustard.
No. I think it's to do with motivation and.
Yeah.
So anyway. Phil Harrison, as he quite usually does quietly, he's gone about his
business.
He hasn't, we've been talking about somebody else, and this is what we're saying. He doesn't have to play flashy shots. He just sort of goes about his business serenely, and he's been in A1 position every single ball here, I think.
And what you notice with Phil Harrison, he very, very rarely comes off more than one cushion.
Yeah, he'll try and keep it as simple as
his white ball travelling is very minimal. And to be fair, that's that's how you should be aspiring to play, really. You know, to be very minimal on your work. That's what makes the good clearances, not the.
Yeah.
Okay, I can understand if your opponents put yourself
Yeah.
into that trouble as you come back to the table and you've got to play a spectacular shot, etc.
Sure.
But as you're going around your finishing, you shouldn't be making those mistakes to leave yourself a hard shot, etc.
Yeah,
You know,
it's about making it as easy as you can for yourself, isn't it?
And if it's too hard, don't go for the frame. You know, there's one thing. I guess, you know, even a lot of good club players and county players, etc. They'll go for a finish that's not there, or they'll put a ball.
Yeah,
and you can't really finish. You should, you know. I heard, I won't mention their names, but and it's a top player, and you know, they say about why put a ball if you can't finish.
Yeah.
You know, there's no point putting a ball and losing where you got 2 balls out to losing to 6 balls out. It doesn't make no difference.
So, you know, Darren once again, he's hit them really, really well. I don't think you could do anything else about that. And fortunately, he's come up dry. And I mean, there is possibly one problem, you know, at the bottom table that might even possibly go into the bottom right-hand pocket. So,
yeah, I think that will release, but he's got to flip the red out anyway.
Feels going for it straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So, what kind of shape has it taken? He's not left himself that pretty, to be fair.
I wonder if he's found the gap.
Yeah, I don't.
The yellow up the table into the top.
And more so, does that yellow in the middle go past the red? Okay, so he's got that gap.
I think he has found the gap, so yeah, I'm pretty sure he can get through to that.
It'd be interesting to see if that yellow goes past that red into the left centre, but kind of like on the fixed side of the middle pocket.
Oh, that's a fantastic shot.
Wow.
Oh, they all go now.
Wow. I did see that shot coming, and ladies and gentlemen, if you can't appreciate
yeah, so we're getting
a shot there, I mean the thinking of that shot as well.
And look, I don't think it straight in.
There was no threat of that missing. He just opened up the game like the Red Seas. If I've got to be honest with you, I think this could be a repeat of the last series, if I can remember rightly. He came from the loser side, didn't he, Phil Harrison, on the last event?
Yeah, he did. I don't think he. Actually, I think it might have only been one game he had to come through on the losers' side.
Was it one game? Okay.
He did. Yeah, he did come through on the losers' side.
That's right. I can't remember who he beat.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't have been anywhere near as early as what he's had to sort of put with there. I mean, for people who don't know, Phil lost to Darryl Whitworth yesterday afternoon in the opening round match, which pushed him onto the losers section straight away. So he's already had to play 3 matches on the losers section. This is his 4th. So if he wins this, he'll be 2/3 of the way through. So.
And again, just sort of like he's got options on what he wants to do with this. He can just roll this in and take the black into the centre, or he can just screw it back 6-8 inches and take the black into the corner. So it's how he feels fit. So he's playing a little drag shot there.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll say drag shot, just a rolling shot, shall I say. And he's left himself a simple finish there. But that shot into the top right-hand corner, that was something else. The awareness of the shot. So it goes to show that he must be feeling very confident to be taking that shot and seeing that shot as well.
Yeah, so having a look at this.
This is brilliant. This is, no fear as well. So he's leading 7-2 against Darren Appleton, and I think it's field to break, yes, because Darren Appleton came up dry. So Phil's got a few good chances to get this game wrapped up. You know, he's got at least, what, three breaks?
Thank you, Andrew. Andrew's just said it was Jordan Church who beat him in the last event. So.
Ah, okay.
Okay then, so Phil is on the hill and it's his break, so he'll be hoping it's the last break of the match, and because I think at 10 o'clock it's going to be busy in the arena. We're going to have 8 of the winner's side matches going on, and 8 of the loser's side matches going on. So
Right.
the 10 o'clock session is our Super Saturday session, as it were. The winners from the winners qualification round will go through to the last 16 that begins late tomorrow morning, and as I say, they'll all be on money then. So it's a big game. I mean, I'm making sure that they're not going to go away from the weekend empty-handed. Okay, so
his first careless shot, really.
Yeah. And that probably was careless because he's gone in off.
Straight, yeah. I remember Ben Noonan from Australia.
Oh, right, yeah.
He said there is absolute no excuse to go in off direct into the middle pocket.
Yeah, yeah.
He called it other names.
Okay.
But you know, there's, you know, in a short story, there's absolutely no excuse to go direct into the middle pocket.
Just a couple of other results from the losers section. Tom Cousins did get the job done against John McAllister. He won 8-5.
So he's doing the same thing again. He kind of got into a bad rhythm in the winner section, and I think he just started to fly through to the loser section.
Yeah, he's Ben Forty finished the job against Greg Batten, so he won 8-6 as well. Gary Clark defeated Oli Bale 8-4. Brian Pisani of Malta, who we saw on the stream table yesterday, his tournament's over. He's lost quite convincingly to Dave Fernandez 8-1.
Oh, Salsa beat him. Okay.
And Gareth Ibbott has eliminated Ian Alley 8-3. So.
Yeah, I was talking to Salsa briefly when he lost to Jordan Shepherd on the winner side, and obviously that's put him into the loser side. And he said that Jordan's break was huge in that match, but he said it's the first time he's kind of practiced leading up to a tournament.
Oh, right, okay.
Because he's not. He had a baby.
Right. So
not so long ago.
That's a fair reason, I think.
Yeah. So if I remember rightly, it was on the weekend, or it was due. If I remember rightly, it was due on the very first event of the Supreme Series, because he qualified through. He's entered this for a qualification. They've done a qualification at Q Academy in Milton Keynes.
Like a
satellite. That's correct. Yeah. And he beat Matt Barcott.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, in the finals, if I remember rightly. And it was £100 to enter, I think. And I think they just done it for 16 players. I remember seeing Christian Phillips there as well. And in minimal fuss, Darren Appleton kind of
that was
clears up the table, but Lily goes in off by smashing the black into the corner pocket.
That was a little bit of frustration.
Yeah. I think he looks like he's had enough and just wants to.
Well, I don't think he's necessarily quitting in any way. He's just, I think, trying to just release a little bit of frustration.
Tension, yeah. So maybe.
Someone in the box was just asking how Fitzy's getting on. I presume they mean Simon Fitzsimmons. So he's actually dodged a couple of. He's got himself a couple of sticky situations, we believe, with a couple of comebacks. He is still in the competition on the losers side round 4. He's actually playing Carl O'Donoghue in a fantastic game, and he's 6-5 up. So Simon Fitzsimmons is still alive. I think someone else asked about Clint Ianson. I think Clint's still in the winners section, isn't he?
Yes, he's in against Matt. He's about to play Max Nosko, so he beat Lee Clough.
Of course, right in front of me.
In the last round.
So Clint Ianson is still in the event. The winner of him and Max will qualify for the last 16, and as I say, they'll they'll then be on a payday.
So just for a few names who maybe are not the obvious names in the game of pool to date, who are in the winners' qualification. So you've got Jack Dylan Newlove, who's going to be facing...
Wow, he's gone dry again, and that's... Wow, it's chronic for Darren, this. He's hitting them so well, but...
just not getting the results.
He's absolutely crunched. I think the last 3 or 4, he really has. He's made a concerted effort to really crunch them, and it's sometimes really unfair when you hit them that well, and with the Supreme rack as well.
Yeah.
It's
going to be interesting to see what Phil chooses here. I think he's going to take yellows, and I think how he's going to play to get the black open, he's going to play the yellow off the red in the middle pocket, which pushes the yellow, which pushes the black into play.
I think that's definitely on. I just wonder whether red is sometimes the camera angle can be a bit deceiving. Whether the red is a little bit
further away than it is.
I think he's all right. I think.
So we've got a head on here. I can see on another monitor, but it's very close. So I think it's definitely
okay
going.
then.
Yeah. Yep. So yellows it is, and they all drop in. The one ball that you might concern him is the yellow on the right hand side of the table, by the side cushion, shall I say. He's going to have to drop it into the middle, so he's got to probably get onto it very early, really, to make the clearance more comfortable. So let's see what he plays here.
I think he sort of realised that's the key to the.
So he's going to play this. He's going to play this attacking shot now, where he's going to come off the red, and he's not going to thump it hard. He's just going to kind of place it really. So half speed, and the black should just float up towards the bulk line.
It's what we were saying earlier about the top players when they do have to sort of go into balls and play cannons. It's a very controlled, method of attack really.
Yeah.
You have to hit that a little bit firm, and
yeah.
I think he's just okay. He's managed. There's access to that yellow. So
right. So
for fans of Darren Appleton, it's not looking good at the minute, and especially with somebody so clinical and efficient as Phil Harrison, it's likely to be curtains.
So looking at the table here. I don't know. I think what he's going to do is take this long yellow and just kind of screw and glance the red. I know he's able to drop it.
I thought he was just going to roll that through, and
so it looks like he's going to opt to bump this yellow into play. And I think he's okay because he's just got to hit it on the thin side, and he catches the side of the yellow basically closer to the cushion, so it bumps the yellow out into open play. So I'll be very surprised if he catches this yellow.
I'm just wondering if he can just drag it out. Can he get hot enough of the cue ball to avoid it?
Oh,
yeah, so he had enough just to. And so this is probably the last sort of piece of the jigsaw, really, just making sure, because it sometimes looks a little bit easier on the screen, where in real life he just has to make sure you get past the near jaw.
He's played that well,
and he's got a nice angle to.
I think
a little bit of traffic, but he's
I think he's going to play it to cannon into one of the reds.
He might actually try to do that.
Which
is exactly what he's done.
Yeah.
So then for an 8-3 win.
And to be fair, it was pretty convincing.
Yeah.
And there's no disrespect to Darren Appleton, because we know that he's one of the greats of the game. Yeah. Phil never really looked in any danger at all.
So our winner of the last event, the Strachan Cup, yesterday, yesterday he wouldn't have been feeling very well, being knocked out in the first round, but he's already come through now 4 rounds of the losers section. So Phil Harrison is still in the event, and he's still rocking. So Phil will be pleased with that he wasn't match didn't go too long. He was surprised that it's for the scoreline. So anyway, that's the match over. Phil moves to the next round. The next live stream action is going to be from the 10 o'clock session. I think we're probably going to be showing a winners game. I'll just try and find out who the stream game is. Okay, so like I say, the next match is 10 o'clock session. So that's not long to go. We'll just sort of get the table ready and the stream and all the technical things. It's going to be Craig Marsh and Jordan Church. So that's going to be a cracking match to watch there. There isn't going to be an interview with Phil. I think we're going to let him off. He's got to go on very shortly. So if you want to join us again in around sort of like 10-15 minutes time, like I said, we'll be bringing you the last match on the main arena table today. It's going to be a winners qualification match between Craig Marsh and Jordan Church. Hope to see you then. And thank you, Clee, for joining me in the box as well.
That's okay.
I hope you enjoy that.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.